Ladies and gentlemen, hours before the results of the crucial Delhi Assembly elections is known, there's a big allegation from the opposition leader and senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, drawing yet again a Maharashtra connect to the Delhi elections and raising allegations of voter count discrepancies. Let's break down what he has alleged. Rahul Gandhi has claimed that Maharashtra has 9.54 crore adult population, of which 9.7 crore forms the voter population. Now, Rahul Gandhi has claimed that in just 5 months since the Lok Sabha polls, an extra of 39 lakh votes were added. That's, remember, in just 5 months since the Lok Sabha polls. Contrast this to 32 lakh voters added between 5 years from 2019 to 2024. So essentially, 32 lakh voters added in 5 years in Maharashtra versus 39 lakh extra voters added in a span of just 5 months between the Lok Sabha elections and the Maharashtra Assembly elections, raising all over again the allegations of voter discrepancies. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has accused Rahul Gandhi of cover fire in anticipation of what they refer to as a humiliating defeat for the Congress in the Delhi elections. Listen in.
In 5 years, between Vidhan Sabha 2019 and Lok Sabha 2024, 32 lakh voters were added on the electoral rolls of Maharashtra. However, in a period of 5 months between Lok Sabha 2024, which these parties won, and Vidhan Sabha 2024, 39 lakh new voters were added in Maharashtra. Now the question is, why are more voters being added in 5 months after the Lok Sabha election than are being added in 5 years prior? Who are these 39 lakh people?
वोटर्स कहां से आए, वोटर कहां आए, किसका नाम काटा, इसका सारा जवाब इलेक्शन कमीशन ने दिया हुआ है। राहुल गांधी एक प्रकार से कवर फायरिंग कर रहे हैं क्योंकि उनको पता है 8 तारीख को दिल्ली के रिजल्ट के बाद उनकी पार्टी का दिल्ली में नामो निशान समाप्त होने वाला है। इसलिए उस दिन क्या बोलना और किस प्रकार से नया नैरेटिव तैयार करना, इसकी प्रैक्टिस वो कर रहे हैं। मैंने बार बार ये कहा है कि जब तक वो आत्मचिंतन नहीं करेंगे और केवल अपने मन को झूठी बातें बोलकर अपने मन को बहलाने का प्रयास करेंगे, तब तक उनकी पार्टी का रिवाइवल नहीं हो सकता।
But it's not the first time that allegations around voter discrepancies really have emerged. ADR, in fact, flagged voter count discrepancy in Maharashtra, citing examples from 2 constituencies. Marble constituency, where a discrepancy of 2012 votes was seen. There were 2012 votes less that were counted, according to ADR. And then you have the Loha constituency, where there was an extra of 154 votes, so a discrepancy of over 154 votes. This is during the Maharashtra elections. Now, Election Commission did respond even at that time, saying there has been no discrepancy, giving out certain reasons for the deficit or the extra votes that seem to have been counted. They're saying mock poll data was not cleared from the EVMs, the non-display of results in control unit, and the Form 17C data mismatch due to clerical errors. Also, election duty certificate votes were not included in the data entry. This is what Election Commission has said. To the allegations of Rahul Gandhi, Election Commission today has said that political parties are a very important stakeholder, and they will write in detail the response and give with all the data whatsoever. But Arvind Kejriwal has now questioned EC's alleged refusal to upload Form 17C data, alleging an unfair process and lack of transparency. Form 17C has 2 parts. The part 1 is details of total amount of votes that have been recorded on the day of polling, among other details. And part 2 breaks down the number of votes for each candidate to record the election results. So, what do you make out of all these allegations being hurled at different political parties, the Election Commission, and all of this, of course, just hours before Delhi's election comes out? I'm being joined at this point by Ali Daruwala, who's a spokesperson for BJP, Dr. Mohammad Amin, who's a former joint director of the ECI, Dr. Uday Nirgudkar, who's a senior journalist, Jagdeep Chhokar, who's a co-founder for ADR, as well as Anish Gawande, who's a spokesperson for NCP. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. Well, Anish Gawande, let me straight go to you. So, even when this Maharashtra elections had happened, this was an issue. Just few weeks ago, we also had Aditya Thackeray sound a warning to the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. I don't know whether notes were exchanged and Rahul Gandhi got some details from them. We don't know all of that. But the point is, the Maharashtra election seems to be overshadowing what's happening in Delhi for more reasons than one, and the Election Commission's role seems to be one big concern that comes up. Mr. Gawande, here's my question to you. You had also raised these allegations when the elections had happened in Maharashtra. What did the EC say? Was any credibility attributed to what was being alleged by even the MVA for that matter?
Sneha, firstly, thank you very much for having me on your show, and my apologies for joining from a car. Delhi traffic seems to have only gotten worse, and I hope that our lovely parties in Delhi will take some account of this. But to answer your question very directly, right, I think
that's not happening.
Reality is that we've been raising these questions for the last 3 months, and we've received no answers. Now, we take our responsibility as an opposition incredibly seriously, particularly when it comes to the conducting of elections, the use of sort of election machinery. Any allegations against the Election Commission or voter list need to be taken very seriously. But the reality is that we've seen an unprecedented increase in the number of voters being added. We've also seen a very, very serious deletion of voters from voter lists.
Okay, we seem to have some problem and we'll try and fix that. But let me just get in at this point, Jagdeep Chhokar. Mr. Jagdeep Chhokar, could you break this down for us? What is Rahul Gandhi trying to say here? Because quite often there have been allegations and counters that have come in. Now, when he says that 39 lakh voters were added in just 5 months and 32 lakh voters in a span of 5 years, how usual, unusual, acceptable, unacceptable is this?
This is unusual to say the least. But the voter roll or the electoral roll is such a complex affair that it is impossible to have 100% correct electoral roll. Having said that, I think when there are large-scale deletions or large-scale additions, or there is evidence of systemic deletions or systemic additions, then there is a serious problem. And we have seen at least since the Haryana State Assembly election, that things are not what they should be or what they should appear to be. There are significant and seemingly systemic deletions and additions of votes, which has never used to happen in the past. And therefore, there is doubt about the authenticity of the electoral roll. But that is not the only thing that Rahul Gandhi said, or that is perhaps debatable or wrong with the electoral process. The issue of mismatch of votes being polled in the EVM and the votes being counted in the EVM, we first raised in September 2019 after the 2019 Lok Sabha election. And that petition, unfortunately, has not yet been heard. And the same issue came up in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, where out of 543 constituencies, in as many as 538 constituencies, the votes polled in the EVMs were different from the votes counted. Now, this is completely unacceptable, because EVM is a machine And the Election Commission, and a lot of us have been saying for years that it is a very reliable machine, although now there are some doubts because EVM is just one machine, but there are 4 machines involved. So discrepancies in the votes counted in the EVMs is not acceptable. Thirdly, the Election Commission has made it a habit over the last few years to only give percentage of votes cast, not the total number of votes cast. Now, we
Okay.
don't know
Okay.
why this is so.
Okay. Okay, let's just go point by point with what you have raised at this point, to which let me get in Dr. Mohammed Amin. Dr. Mohammed Amin, Delhi's elections are going to be known in a while from now. From Rahul Gandhi to ADR, there are concerns which are being raised. How much of this is correct? How much of this is not? Why don't you respond to the factual concerns which have been raised by Mr. Chhokar at this point?
Mr. Chhokar is not working with the Election Commission inside, as well as the Rahul Gandhi is also not working inside the Election Commission. And I was the whole in charge of the
That's why you are here,
process
sir. That's why you are
from
here.
voter list to EVM machine, at the voting and the counting. Yeah. All the process I have seen, I have done it. I was the observer also there. I am going to tell you very frankly, when we are publishing the news to the district level by the district election officer for the publishing the correcting the voter list. So we are calling all the stakeholders for all the parties, but no party is coming properly to attend the meetings, and no party is giving the suggestions. And after the publishing final list, before final list, we are giving again the chance to the public to come and see the voter list in the district electoral office. But they are also not coming. That is the lag from the public side and their leader side. At that time, they are not awakened. After the publishing, they are having a lot of the
I get your point. You are saying so the
Commission.
parties are not
Election
playing their
Commission has
responsible
always their
role
own
as
process.
stakeholders, but give me a simple thing. Sir, eight cheese, sir. A question. While you make that point, here's my question. To a lame person who's listening to what Rahul Gandhi is saying, he's asking one question. How are, in 5 years, 32 lakh voters added to a state? And in 5 months, 39 lakh voters are added. How do you explain this?
I am going to tell you time to time, like the assembly elections, we have the updated the list at the time before the parliament election, we are going to update the list. That's why the demand is very good for the government side and for the public also. One nation, one election means one electoral roll for all over the country, one time updated, one time election will be there. So that's why every time we cannot update for the assembly and we cannot update for the parliament. So after the 5 months, this was happened. So that's why before the assembly election is a duty and responsibility of the election commission to update the proper list update. Why the electoral rolls has gone up and the voters have gone up? Everybody knows in Maharashtra, a lot of the migrants are coming all over the country for their job, for their business, for everything. So they are, sometimes they are migrating, sometimes they are going to stay back there. So that's why within 5 months, the voters have come. Not the election commission is always
Mr. Chhokar, do you agree with that?
That is
Mr.
the result
Chhokar?
of the itself.
Mr.
Rahul
Chhokar,
Gandhi.
do you agree with that?
Shreya, once, Shreya. That's why the answer itself is there with Rahul Gandhi. He has elected 2 places. One is the Wayanad, one is the Raebareli. What is that? This is the in the eyes of the India and eyes of the world, that the election commission is very clear and crystal clear. They are doing justice for everyone. Not for the BJP,
Let me get in
not for the
Jagdeep Chhokar
Congress,
before I
not
go
for
to
the
my other
other
panelists. Jagdeep
parties.
Chhokar, do you want to respond to what you heard?
I very, very respectfully disagree with the esteemed panelist. I think he has given about 10 reasons, including one nation, one election, which is still to come. So he has said many things which, to my mind, I may be
Mr. Chhokar,
ill-informed,
you is
and I
already in
certainly
the
don't work
Supreme Court.
inside the Election Commission.
You wait for the
That I
decision.
do not know what happens inside the
You
Election
have,
Commission, and
along with
that
me,
is
the
the
other
problem.
panels also. Don't agree, disagree. You have already submitted your petition to the Supreme Court. You wait for that.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have, and we
I know.
stand by. And therefore, I
Acha,
disagree with
Amin
you,
sir,
Yes, you
let
wait for
Chhokar
that.
Saab speak.
You
Let
fed-
him
you
speak.
wait for
I allowed
that.
you to speak, sir.
You get
Chaliye,
the
Chhokar
justice.
Saab, finish your point, sir.
No, all I am
Amin
saying
sir,
is
I
that
have
these
invited him. He has to speak his point of view. Let Mr. Chhokar speak. I gave you all the time you wanted to speak. So let Mr. Chhokar speak. Please go ahead, Mr. Chhokar.
the 8 or 10 reasons that have been given
Okay.
are not related to each other. And you can give a string of facts or figures from all over the place. They do not answer the question that why do migrants come to Maharashtra in large numbers before the state assembly election and they do not come before the parliament election.
Okay. Okay. I think that's a question. Let me just take it straight to Ali Daruwala. Mr. Ali Daruwala, what do you respond to this? I mean, you heard Mr. Amin say, Dr. Amin say that this is because so many people come en masse to Maharashtra before the assembly elections. Mr. Chhokar is saying, what is this magic? It happens before the assembly elections, not before the Lok Sabha elections. And look at the numbers that Rahul Gandhi has quoted. I mean, true or not, that's the election commission and the courts to decide.
Sneha,
But
thank you so
large
much for letting
numbers
me
these
in.
are. These are large numbers. These are not few
Correct.
thousands.
No,
Yes,
no,
please.
Sneha,
Go ahead,
thank you
sir.
so much. Thank you for letting me come in. Give me only 15 seconds to explain myself. In fact, all these questions should be answered by a BJP spokesperson. And this analysis and these theories are totally false. From Lok Sabha to Vidhan Sabha, what happened? How did we get this 32 magic number? It is the hard work of the Sangh, of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak, and the lethargic work of the BJP workers. This two combination was cancelled off. We went house to house, door to door. We got each voters who are not staying in the constituency. Buses were sent. They were picked up.
Did
They
I
were
hear
got to
this
the
right?
1 second.
Daruwala, just a minute.
Let me
Daruwala
finish.
ji, did I hear it right? Did you call BJP workers lethargic? I didn't understand. Sorry,
Let
that's why
it
I'm
come there.
interrupting you.
Yeah,
Please go
let it
ahead.
come. I'm telling you
Okay.
everything because in Lok Sabha, they all thought Karenga to Modi, Jeetenga to Modi. They were all so reluctant. They were saying, Hum to aise hi jeet rahe, ab ki baar 400 par. That thing bit us so badly that it was shaken. 240 seats that we got, we all were shaken. I said, everybody thought the other person will do, other person thought the center will do, the center thought Modi magic will work. It did not work. It shook us. A. B. The voters list in the Lok Sabha systematically and with a lot of responsibility, I will tell you the names of the stalwart, stringent, proper BJP voter list were missing. Who is to be blamed is none of my concern, and I don't want to fall into that ambit of why was the name missing. So we all pulled up our socks, our leaders, our Pradesh Adhyaksha, Devendra Fadnavis, they all took the responsibility. This time, each and every worker was activated. We went and we got those 32 lakh voters out of their houses, made them vote, and we made sure that the list was there. Sneha, have you happened to being in Maharashtra? You can tell me wholeheartedly and honestly, didn't a BJP worker come to your doorsteps ringing the bell and saying, ma'am, have you voted? Do you need to vote? Do you have your slip? We all were sleeping and we paid the price in Lok Sabha. We pulled up our socks and we performed in the Vidhan Sabha. Anyway, so now Jammu Kashmir, EVM is wrong. Now, Sneha, you need to pull up Supriya Sule, ma'am, who's sitting next to Rahul Gandhi. Her statement 1 month back, you can Google it. Her statement 1 month back is saying you wholly and solely cannot blame the EVM. EVM machine has got its integrity. You cannot blame the EVM. And today she's sitting next to Honorable Rahul Gandhi ji and doing a U-turn. Why is this U-turn? Let me not get into it. My theory is tomorrow we are coming with a thumping victory. I will be on your channel to not pat my back, but to pat the party who's worked so hard. We have given flagship programs. That is why now I can say, let me not give figures. I can tell you with humble that we are winning Delhi. And we are winning because of our work and stalwart leaders like Modi ji, Yogi ji and Amit Shah are working day and night. Yes, Sneha,
Anish
back to the
Gawande come
studio.
in here. So here's a very feisty argument put in by Mr. Ali Daruwala, and he has a very simple thing to say. They have a strong grassroots, a cadre that the other opposition parties failed to garner together while they were bickering and fighting with each other.
Hello.
100 days were
No,
given to
Shreya,
them.
I
They have
can tell
not
you.
appealed in any
Anish Gawande.
appropriate agency. They have not appealed.
Sneha,
Anish Gawande, can you hear
I
me?
respect Ali
Yeah,
Daruwala.
Anish Gawande, go ahead. My question is to you.
Sneha, I respect Ali Daruwala ji, but I'd request him to watch that press conference yet again. And Supriya reiterated the fact that she's won through EVMs for 5 elections and therefore does not think that only raising a finger at EVMs is deletions are a serious cause of concern. You've heard from somebody from the ADR telling you why this is unusual. You've also seen why the reasons given by the ECI unfortunately do not hold weight. The problem is that every time questions are asked to the ECI, we are being blamed for even asking the question. What is the problem with transparency? Why do we not have these voter lists? Why has the ECI not responded to our concerns? Does the ECI think that it is above any sort of accountability today? And finally, the main problem that had to be raised was the deletion of voters as well. We still do not know how many names were deleted from these voter lists because we only know the additional voters that were in one list and not in the other. So now Ali Daruwala ji has said that BJP voters were canvassing left, right, and center, ensuring that every single voter that supported them was added.
Turned out.
Were they also ensuring that voters who supported us were deleted from these voter lists? Because if that is the only reason why voter lists are changing or being added or subtracted, then the
We
BJP
haven't
must
heard a
also
single
take
complaint of
responsibility
people
for the
complaining
deletion
that
of
our
voter
name is
lists, right?
missing.
No, but I'm saying that if these names were existing in previous elections and they don't exist now, if names have been changed in terms of their sort of location for their polling booths, these are
Anish,
serious concerns, and the
Anish,
ECI
give me 1
cannot shy
second.
away
You
from
know,
answering.
I have a reason. I speak very politely and I do not counter. Anish, my family name, our Khandan ka naam was missing in Lok Sabha. Societies, all the Parsi community who are our stalwart. I am not blaming, I'm not saying this was done deliberately, but it did happen in Lok Sabha. We were lethargic, we were caught unaware, we were taken by surprise in Lok Sabha. Thousands and thousands of people were calling up and saying our name is not there. I did not have a response. I did not work on it. Likewise, my party did not work. My corporators were not working. They thought there is no corporation election. So let us take it easy. All the
So then I,
corporators, I'm just talking
so
about
then I
Pune
think
city.
that
No one worked. They said, "हमको election में जाना ही नहीं, आराम करो." This was the reason we got less number in Lok Sabha. And when we realized that we need to work, I am telling you, we were shortcoming. We worked relentlessly. Day and night we have toiled. Now these numbers, the election commission not responding and all these, all technical facts and figures. All I know, last night when I did a debate, they said there's 80 lakh voters. Now they have come to 39 lakh voters. Just wait and watch. Supriya ma'am herself has upheld the integrity of the EVM machine.
Okay,
I've
okay.
got all due respect.
Okay,
so
okay,
I have to
heard
come
your
in here
answer.
for
Let
just a
Gawande
second.
finish
Sneha.
his
I have to
point
come
since
in here
you
for just
came
a
in.
second.
Press
Let
conference
So
Mr.
today,
Sneha, I
Gawande
have to
finish his
come in
point.
here for
Ali
just a
Daruwala ji,
second.
I heard
Sneha,
you
I
out.
have to
I
come
heard
in
you
here.
out. Let Mr. Gawande finish his point.
Sneha, one thing that I have to point out over here is that there was such a large-scale deletion of hardcore BJP voters who have continuously voted for the BJP. The BJP has been in power for 10 years at the center. This is the most damning indictment by a BJP spokesperson of his own government on national television. Start a joint parliamentary inquiry. Ask why voter names are being deleted. This is a national shame. You're saying that under your watch, when the election commission is a body that is supposed to act in a constitutional manner in conjunction with the government, voters have been deleted left, right, and center, then you're admitting that the most colossal deletion of voters has taken place, because this is not the first election either of our parties are fighting. So how have these voters magically disappeared under their watch?
Okay, Anish, what are you doing? You're saying your voter list is missing,
Okay.
and what have you? 100 days you have slept over it, and now just suddenly you have woken up because tomorrow is Delhi
Okay,
election.
okay.
Tomorrow Delhi results are there. There's going to be a sweeping victory in
Okay,
Delhi.
fair
What is
point.
happening
I'll
with
get to
Aam,
that.
we
I'll
cannot
get to
discuss
that.
on
I'll
this
get to that. Both
business
of you,
channel.
give me a
So
few
you're
minutes.
just
I'll get
finding,
to that.
your
I'll get to
party is
that.
finding,
But let
India
me get
Alliance
in
is
Dr.
finding
Uday
a place
Nirgudkar.
to hide.
Dr. Uday Nirgudkar, is there a problem? Is there an elephant in the room, irrespective of which political party is talking, winning, losing? Is there a problem?
There is no elephant in the room. There is not even a cockroach in the room. There is a rat in the mind. Election Commission published the voter list way ahead of elections. The deletion was done way ahead of elections. Those who voted, they did not voted out of the election commission booth. Now, in that booth, you have every political party voting agent. Those who voted were not South Koreans and Pakistanis. They voted either on the behalf of some identity which is called Aadhaar card or voting card. What you are voting authorities sitting in the booth doing. How many times they objected, suspecting that this person is an outsider or fake or from some other state? Nothing happened. It's a clear timing case. This timing just before the Delhi verdict is to divert the attention, in my opinion. First, it was EVM. There was enough opportunity given by the election commission, by the Supreme Court.
Respond to what Mr. Uday is saying. Dr. Uday is somebody who covers Maharashtra elections as well, who knows the in and outs.
Yeah.
You being a person from ADR, now Dr. Uday is saying that there is politics to it, there's political motivation to it, the timing is the issue. As somebody who's a non-political entity, Mr. Chhokar, okay, Mr. Uday, finish your point and then Mr. Chhokar, please respond.
Can I add one point?
Yeah. Udayji, you got valid points. Please add.
Do you know how the opposition was caught
अरे
napping?
दारूवाला जी मुझे काम कर लेने दीजिए.
Sorry.
Do you know how the opposition was caught napping? Let me give you. The number of meetings which BJP and RSS worker had only in Vidarbha, in between Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, the number is 60,000. I repeat, 60,000, where more than 25 or up to, let's say, 500 or 600 people were present. ऐसी 60,000 मीटिंग हुई है जिसका डॉक्यूमेंट्री रिकॉर्ड है. ये सिर्फ मैं विदर्भा की बात कर रहा हूं. If you are caught napping, it is your problem. If the entire Maharashtra is to be calculated, such number of meetings are more than 3.5 lakhs to 4 lakhs. Imagine the depth. Imagine the size of efforts. Who stopped you from doing it? Everything was available.
Before I come to Mr. Gawande, I think Mr. Chhokar, please respond to the first point that Mr. Uday made, and that is the political timing of it, a political interest of it. And I'm coming for you to respond to this and not to the political spokesperson, because you are a non-political entity. You are somebody who stands for democracy. So kindly respond to what Mr. Uday has said.
See, there is absolutely no doubt that the timing of the press conference could very well be because of the Delhi election. I am not a privy to the minds of opposition parties, and I am not an opposition spokesperson. So the timing could very well have been because the Delhi results are expected tomorrow, therefore there was a press conference. That is perfectly possible. I am not saying that is the case. But on the other hand, I also agree with Mr. Gawande that the opposition has been, Mr. Nirudkar, that the opposition has been caught napping. Opposition has not been active. Opposition has also not been active in making sure of the electoral rolls, making sure of the counting, making sure of that they get Form 17C. Opposition has not done a lot of nuts and bolts that they should have done. And that could very well have been the cause of the win of one party and loss of the other party. That's perfectly fine. I am only speaking of the electoral process. The electoral process, we filed a petition in the Supreme Court in 2019 saying that the counting process should be robust and transparent. That has not happened. In 2024 Lok Sabha election, as I said, in 538 constituencies, the votes counted in the EVMs and polled in the EVMs were different. That is not acceptable. I am referring to the electoral process. I am not commenting on what the political parties do. That is their business. I want the Election Commission to make the electoral process robust and transparent. The Election Commission former gentleman said, I don't work. Of course, I don't work inside the Election Commission. And that is the problem. Why don't people common people be given access to what happens inside the election commission? Why is the election commission a black box? Shouldn't we know everything that happens in the election commission? So I have no.
Dr. Uday,
dispute
come in
with-
at this point, and then Mr. Amin also, I'll get you in. So, Dr. Uday, I mean, look at Mr. Chhokar is saying, and that's what I asked. Is there an elephant in the room? Yes, there's politics. Yes, there's political timing. But is there something deeper that needs to be addressed election after election beyond just the politicking? Mr. Uday,
Let me
very
tell
quickly, a
you,
minute before I go to the others.
I have done my doctorate in electioneering. I have seen and studied the elections since 1952. Election Commission have taken tremendous pain to improve their processes, their technology, their management, and their logistics year on year, year on year, year on year. It's not that they are mistakeless. Yes, they will be doing some mistakes because there are human errors involved into it. But it is not with intention or to make one party win or some other party lose. All this has been done in a transparent manner. It has been published data. This has been used in my doctorate thesis also.
But Mr.
So
Chhokar is saying there is no transparency. It's like a black hole.
There is no
Can I
black
come in,
holes.
please?
Absolutely not.
In 2024 Lok Sabha election, I am saying for the third time, there is a discrepancy in the votes polled in the EVMs and the votes counted from the EVMs in 534, 90%, 99% constituencies. There is no explanation given for that. And the Election Commission representative just said a little while ago that I don't work inside the Election Commission, therefore I don't know. So there is lack of transparency. I insist that there is lack of. Why don't they give the total
Dr.
number
Amin,
of votes? Voters.
Dr. Amin, do you want to come in? Do you want to come in and respond to what Mr. Chhokar is saying? He's talking this very responsibly. He's raising this. This is the third time he's making this point. Do you want to respond to what he's saying?
Ma'am,
No,
can I come in, please?
actually, Mr. Chhokar is right on that side. He's on his side is right. Actually, all the party is sleeping, and at the time of the election, they are awakened. Actually, in all process, our election commission needs the support of all stakeholders. They can come and participate from starting, from the list preparation. Otherwise, so all election process, they are always there. They are involved, or their agents are involved, or their heads are involved, always in all the meetings. So that's why I need their all supports. Every time they must. This is the whole time process, like a government officials are doing since their job is started. So same time is the political persons, their job is there to they depute some person for this process only to see the process of the election commission. Then they cannot blame the election commission. Election commission, I'm sure, that always doing proper time.
Constituencies is a very big deal, sir. That's a very big allegation, no? And the ADR has been saying this multiple times since the elections.
No, actually, this time our chief election commissioner is going to be retired on February. So every time in this regime, every time everybody is blaming him for the election. But I'm sure that he did his job is honestly. I'm sure. But always you see the Kejriwal said that he need another job for that. His unnecessary remarks is always there. But I'm sure that the election commission free and fair poll is doing and always doing for the country. That is the constitutional body.
So that's really where the perception challenge is coming in. Mr. Chhokar is saying something which is factual, which is coming in with the list, and you are taking a high ground, saying that election commission is a fair body. Nobody is questioning the intent there, but here's a procedural question that is being brought in again and again. Mr. Gawande, do you want to respond to what Dr. Uday has said? And Mr. Ali Darwala, I'm seeing you're raising your hands. I'll just come to you in a bit. But Gawande, here's the thing, Anish Gawande. Look at what Dr. Uday said. 60,000 meetings in just Vidarbha between the two elections. Contrasted to what possibly the opposition has done is what they are arguing. Caught napping.
Sneha, I love the allegation of being caught napping, and I respect all the panelists here. But do you think Pawar Sahib was napping when he conducted all of those rallies across Maharashtra that your channel itself covered? Do you think the entire opposition was napping before the Lok Sabha elections when we managed to get the number of seats that we did? To sort of dismiss the work that the opposition did in both the Lok Sabha election and the Vidhan Sabha election is to put a red herring onto this question, right? My second problem is that why should the opposition not be napping? Do you not want an election commission that is so trusted by the people of this country that you don't need opposition leaders to be sort of keeping an eye on EVM machines and voter lists to ensure that there's no tampering? Because if you are saying that the opposition should not be napping, if you are saying that the opposition should maintain vigil, then what are you actually saying? That we should be guarding EVM machines, but from whom? Who is going to be tampering those EVM machines to ensure the results come out a certain way? Who is going to be manipulating voter rolls intentionally to ensure that voter lists come out a certain way? I don't want a future for this country. And it is a sad day for the country today that questions are being raised on the opposition for not doing things that would be expected as and taken as granted in a democracy. Should we be keeping a watch on the election commission, or should we be trusting the election commission? This trust deficit is what is the problem. I have come on your show multiple times and said this, right?
Sneha,
I don't like
Sneha,
raising
let me
fingers at
come
the
in,
election
please.
commission. I have not raised fingers on the EVMs. And I think that what I'm asking for today, not only as a politician, but as a citizen of this country, is some answers, some transparency. Why are we shunned every time we ask a question? Why is there no transparency?
Sneha?
Ali
I
Daruwala, I
think
mean,
this is
while Gawande is asking that question, the truth
Yeah.
is, just a minute, Ali Daruwala, what has Arvind Kejriwal also said today? He said why the Form 17C is not up, that he's asked for them, requested for them repeatedly. Again, I'm not bringing in what Anish Gawande has said, matching it what Arvind Kejriwal has said, but again, the larger questions that really are emerging is about transparency. Ali Daruwala, please respond, and I'll go to the others after that.
Correct. Sneha ma'am is so shameful. The gentleman, Mr. Amin, has to answer. The most prestigious, the most non-corrupt, the most the organization whose integrity cannot be even questioned is the Election Commission of India. Over here, we are taking them, we are asking them such questions. Let me give you one small example before, I won't take more than 15 seconds. When Maharashtra election was taking little more time, the chief of election commission comes and he hammers the government. He said, what nonsense, it is not going to be tolerated. He cancels all the appointments so transparently and so strictly, steel-fistedly. The election commission chief works in Maharashtra. He doesn't take orders from anybody. All these people are put together, shun. He said, you call the dates, I am declaring the dates. This is the election commission has done. Anyway, nevertheless, you have a question, you ask a question. It is a job, it's a democratic country, we need to answer. But over here, I can tell you the magic. The magic is that 100 institutions under the banner of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, the Muslim Rashtriya Manch, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, the Hindu Jagran Manch, the Patit Pawan, we all were asked to leave our houses. We were asked to work. This is the magic. This is the reason. We were taking meetings. We were going into buildings. We were getting our voters out. We did not sit and complain as to what happened in the Lok Sabha. And I'm definitely not going to take Ashish Gawande head on, because you never know. There might be some magic happening with his party, and you never know with Sharad Pawar ji and Supriya Sule being so soft. So I will definitely not take Ashish ji. Do not put me versus Ashish Gawande. But over here, I can tell you, the reason Mallikarjun Kharge ji is catching Sharad Pawar's hand is the answer in itself. Okay, nevertheless, over here we have worked. Our flagship programs have turned to be the game changer. The lazy cadre has been put back. New faces are going to come. And now we have bigger challenges in front of us. Tomorrow is going to be the very hectic day for Bharatiya Janata Party because of our hard work. No prediction on your channel. Mirror Now doesn't entertain nonsense. I've been in Mirror Now since Faye was working.
For tomorrow, we
30
will leave it to
seconds, 30
tomorrow. There are
seconds,
many
30
questions that are going to be asked
Please,
tomorrow as well.
do not blame
We'll go to that. We'll go to that. Okay,
EVM
Daruwala.
is a wired
Gawande, you want
machine,
30 seconds,
not a
30
remote
seconds, and I
control
have to go
machine.
to the others.
20 seconds to me. I just want to say congratulations to the BJP on their victory. May they win tomorrow as well if they're so confident. But when you
Thank
score
you.
well on an exam, you're the first person to show your answer sheet to everybody. So if you've scored well on an exam, why are you so scared to show your
I didn't
answer
say.
sheet to
I said
everybody?
no prediction.
दिखाइए ना हमें, हम कहाँ बोल रहे हैं कि आपकी सरकार नहीं आ रही है, पर जीते हो तो दिखाओ भी तो, कागज आप भी तो दिखा लो.
I would like to add here.
अच्छा ठीक है. All right. Okay. Oh, I wanted you to be the last one, Uday ji, but आप बोल दीजिए, उसके बाद मैं फिर दोनों के पास जाऊंगी. Go ahead, sir. अच्छा ठीक. Mr. Uday, indulge me. I'll come to you last. Mr. Chhokar, here's my question to you very quickly. To what Arvind Kejriwal has said, they requested the EC for Form 17C to be uploaded, to be put up. How much of a politics is that, or how much is it as something that should be done as a practice hours within the polling ends? How much of this is a democratic process that should be followed, and why is it not being followed?
There are two responses to this question. Number one, the Election Commission should actually put these Form 17C on its website. It is trying to persistently refusing that under the garb that there are no law saying so. Number two, the political parties representatives should take that Form 17C and make it public themselves. Both parties are guilty here. Election Commission is not willing to be transparent, and the political parties are not doing their job properly. Some of their polling agents are also mixed up with the ruling party.
Has put it up. They've started putting it up now.
Well, they have done a good thing. All parties should do that. And a lot of parties don't even get Form 17. There are reports from Delhi, people who went to vote, normal voters who were a little aware, they looked for Form 17C. It was already available, signed by all polling agents, although the polling had not ended. So all processes that are set to be done.
Tell me one thing. For a viewer who doesn't know, Mr. Chhokar, why is this Form 17C so important or relevant?
It is important, but because it says how many people have voted and how many people of the registered voters have voted, etc. It gives live information. In earlier days, former chief election commissioners have said that this information should be available at the press of a button. And today, this information is not given up to 3 days after the election is over.
Mr. Amin, come in please. Dr. Amin, what do you have a response? Why is the Election Commission not putting this up? It's just a Form 17C that everybody should have access. If political parties are asking for it, why not put it up? What's so big a deal about it?
Every day when they start the election, presiding officer is signing the Form 17 and giving to every stakeholder in the evening. So Mr. Chhokar was said correctly. And this is the duty of the presiding officer to sign and give it to every stakeholder immediately after the election is over in the evening. So, and this is the duty of the Election Commission to must show there. After these forms they are receiving, immediately the data shows to the site also in the Election Commission CI. But this time this has happened. I agree with this, Mr. Chhokar, what he said. But this is the responsibility of the Chief Election Commissioner. He must show on the site also with the instructions. Thank you so much.
Chaliye, theek hai. Mr. Uday, you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead, the parting shots are with you.
The last line here, there is a small correction I would like to make. What Anish ji said, are we supposed to guard EVM? When we said you were caught napping, that does not mean that you have to guard EVM, you have to guard your voters, you have to guard your MLAs, you have to guard your MP, and you have to guard your party. Because the headline, Sneha ji, is not this discussion. The headline, BJP spokesperson openly saying that I do not want to take NCP head on because kal na jane kya ho sakta hai, and there was a smile on the face of NCP that bonhomie itself is a headline for tomorrow, whether BJP, and then NCP complimenting way ahead of election results that Delhi is going to be with BJP. That is a larger bonhomie, and that's the headline which we are really talking as of today. All the elections, EVM, Operation Lotus is not the news. The news is BJP openly admitting.
Oh God, Uday sir, I mean, I was very tempted to say all that you said, but I was very restrained. Anyway, I'm glad I have a panelist who brought that out. That's political humor at its best. Ali Daruwala, Dr. Mohammed Amin, Dr. Uday Nirgudkar, Jagdeep Chhokar, Anish Gawande. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us, for your precious time. And of course, all the best for tomorrow. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. Thank you very much. For a very short break.